Ooh, howdy. Dowdy, Troy Gowdy. Do you know who Troy Gowdy is?
I have no idea who Troy Gowdy is.
He's a senator from the US. I don't know which state, but yeah.
One of them.
He's an awful right-winger. He always does his interviews where he's just saying fucked up things. Anyway. Hello, hi, welcome. The name of the show is Politics. Although I call it Politrix. And the title of this episode is Blue Beetle. My name is Presh.
And I'm Ty.
And let's get into some cleanup from last week.
Yeah.
So last week I said that Neil Blomkamp is South Africa's most famous director.
Yes.
Question mark.
Yes.
I googled and came across a list from Pantheon.world, which gives their top 6.
Okay.
In first place, they had Jamie Ace.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
So he directed The Gods Must Be Crazy and its sequel.
Okay.
I'm culturally aware of this movie, but I've never seen it.
Right, I see.
Do you know of this movie?
No.
Alright. Well, ask your dad. He loves this.
Okay.
Alright. In 2009, I went on holiday to India.
Oh.
And when the person who drove us around found out that we were South African, he said he watched The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Huh.
So anecdotally, I realized that it's a very famous movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think the driver would know the name Jamie Ace.
No, probably not.
In second place, they have a guy named Robert Mitchell, who directed a bunch of films I know, but I think he should be disqualified.
Okay.
Because although he was technically born here, his father was a British diplomat. And they moved around a lot. And also, none of his movies take place in South Africa.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
In third was Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Right? Fourth was Gavin Hood,
Yes.
who, like I mentioned last week, directed Tsotsi and X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh, I have something to mention about Gavin Hood as well. But it's fine. Finish your thing.
Joe, you can tell me now.
I said he directed Spud.
Yeah.
He did not direct Spud.
Yes, I know. I have the...
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Right, but I said that Wolverine sunk his career, which is not true.
Okay.
He went on to make Ender's Game, which I think is a solid sci-fi movie.
Okay.
So they did, he still got to do big budget movies after that. So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
In fifth is Tosca Musk, right? Okay. Who is the younger sister of Elon.
Oh. Okay.
I think she should also be disqualified because I was reading her Wikipedia and she only directed one movie in 2001.
That's it.
Right? And then she only did producer work after that.
That's crazy. Okay.
So while I was in university, I worked as a barista at a coffee shop. Does that make me a barista for life? You know?
I think you are, because you got the skills to be a barista.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's just a thing that I did.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Similarly, she made one movie in the early 2000s. That's not... you can't call her a director.
After one movie.
Yeah. Well, no, but I'm saying if that one movie were like last year or the year before, you could call her a director because you presume she's going to direct something.
Yes.
It's been over 20 years.
Yes.
I doubt that she'll, direct again. So I don't think we can,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In sixth was Jonathan Liebsman.
Okay.
Who I think should also be disqualified. Because like Robert Mitchell, he moved away. Right?
Okay.
And none of his movies are set in South Africa. He moved away as like a little bit older than Mitchell, but as a teen.
Okay, yeah.
So still, I don't think it counts.
So,
it's only Blomkamp and Neil. I mean, Jamie Ace, Blomkamp, then Gavin Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An abundance of talent from South Africa, I guess.
Then, also, while we're speaking about the most famous South African director, you mistakenly thought Gavin Hood directed Spud.
Yes.
So I looked it up, and it's a guy named Donovan Marsh, who's also South African, but I haven't seen any of his movies other than the 2 Spuds.
I think there are 3 Spuds.
Yeah, but he only directed the first 2.
Oh, right, okay. I see.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the budget for Gran Turismo when we recorded last week.
Okay.
But I found out during the week. It had a budget of $100 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So obviously double for marketing, a true cost of $200 million.
Yeah.
And at time of writing, it has made $17 million. Right?
That's pretty close.
That being said, it hasn't been released in America and other territories.
Yeah.
Right. It was meant to come out on the 11th of August worldwide, but was pushed back to the 25th due to the writers' strike.
Yeah.
But some countries like South Africa kept the original date.
Yeah.
So the 25th was this Friday.
Yeah.
I haven't checked the, current totals, but
It's...
it could turn out to be a success. That's what I'm trying to say.
It could eventually, yes.
Yes, because 17 was from certain parts of the world, not...
Not everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know how it's going to go. It's not looking good.
Yeah.
Anyway, the news of the week.
Okay.
So a little bit of personal news. The podcast hit 1,000 downloads, over all the various streaming services, obviously excluding YouTube.
Yeah.
So, pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
decent.
last week I was complaining that Mario had 7 times the number of Spider-Verse reviews, right?
Yes.
And I saw our Spider-Verse number of downloads just went up. Yeah, I wasn't trying to say that the Spider review was good. I was just, I'm just puzzled why the Mario movie is so, and I don't even think that episode we did was bad. It's just I have negative feelings towards the Mario movie. So I'm like, I don't know. The movies that I give a 10, I like that episode.
Yeah.
The movies I don't like, I dislike that episode. So, yeah. I'm just very puzzled why people have glommed onto the Mario episode. It's just very puzzling. Anyway, so the big news of the week is that the 15th Brick Summit took place last week in Sandton.
Yes.
Which, I'm always talking about that cinema, the Cinema Nouveau.
Yes.
Well, it's in Rosebank, which is very close to Sandton.
That is... Yep.
So I wanted to watch a movie this week, and I'm like, no. What if there's big traffic,
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved in that. So, yeah. Waited for this week to go there.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, back to the story. So first of all, what is BRICS? BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and operates as an informal grouping of nations that meet annually at the BRICS Convention, where members and heads of state seek to further economic cooperation between the nations.
Yeah.
The head of state of a member nation acts as a chairman of the group, rotating once a year. I always thought, like I said, it's a loose, informal kind of thing. It's not like a proper allyship. Like if we were being attacked, they are under no obligation to send their army to help us out or like that. It's just a loose, let's trade with each other.
It's like friends with benefits versus NATO being a relationship.
I don't know what that comparison is, but I can't even make sense of anything you just said. Jesus Christ. Who would the friends... What would the benefits be in this situation? Anyway. No, let's just move on. The 2 big takeaways from the summit are, number 1, 6 more countries have been invited to join BRICS.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
They are let me go back. They've just been invited. We don't know if they'll accept.
Okay.
But usually, you get invited because you want to join.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna join, but I just thought I'd mention that it's not confirmed. It's just they were invited.
I'm not sure if I read the article right because yours says invited, but as far as I've seen, and once again I may be wrong, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the UAE have joined.
Yeah, like I said, it's just an informal. It's just a formality for them to
accept.
Yes, that's it's not really. And like I said, they're probably gonna.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter about the wording of this. We're splitting hairs over nothing.
Okay.
But the thing is, you said the countries before me, so that's fucked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, the Argentina, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates.
So those are the ones that are invited.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry for stealing your thunder like that.
I'm gonna cut yours out of there. In the edit, it's just gonna be. It's just gonna be. I'm gonna put in elevator music. So I'm not sure on what episode, but you remember? Oh, sorry. All are important, obviously, but I just want to single out Iran and Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
I'm not sure on what episode, but you remember I said that they are sworn enemies and are currently engaged in a Cold War by having a number of proxy wars all around the Middle East.
I do remember this,
yes. So this is due to a number of things, but mainly because Iran represents Shia Muslims and Saudi Arabia represents Sunni Muslims.
Yes.
It's similar to the divide between Catholics and Protestants in the Christian faith.
Okay.
And the reason I brought up that context in that episode was because a Chinese official brokered a peace treaty between the two states. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Right?
I do remember this.
So I think this is the first significant consequence of that peace deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Would be great to have them both.
Yeah, they're both very big oil nations.
Yeah.
Right. The second takeaway, and, Iran have been under sanction from the US, so they haven't been allowed to sell their oil. So they have a huge reserve just kind of
sitting there.
Right. So the second takeaway is the strengthening of the New Development Bank, which is the BRICS alternative to the IMF.
Yes.
So what is the IMF? So obviously it's the agency Tom Cruise works for in the Mission Impossible movies. But in this context, it was an institution set up after World War II to help struggling countries who couldn't secure a loan elsewhere.
Yeah. Right.
The criticism of the IMF is that they give out these loans at extremely high interest rates, which the country will be unable to pay back.
Okay.
Forcing the country to take out more loans to pay off existing loans, and so on until the IMF has proxy control over your country.
Yes.
So they impose rules like, you're not allowed to do this with the money because you owe us.
Yeah.
So they kind of take shadow control of the government or the country that they are given this money to.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right-wingers have accused the IMF of being a cabal of Jewish bankers trying to destroy Christian countries.
Yes.
Right? Let's be clear, there are substantive criticisms to be made of the IMF without getting into anti-Semitic racism.
Okay. Right.
Let's do a thought experiment.
Okay.
Let's say every person who works at the IMF was a white Christian man. Would that make what they're doing okay?
No, I have to say no here.
Right. The race of the banker is not the issue. It's the fact that they are a banker that's, causing this issue.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The New Development Bank already existed since 2015. So it's not like they announcing that it'll be created. They're not, they did this a while back, right?
Right.
This is just saying they're getting more serious about trying to compete with the IMF.
Okay, yeah.
I don't really have much to say about the story. I'm just waiting to see what the US response will be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
It's like Star Wars,
Yeah.
At the end of Star Wars, I was like, wow, this plucky band of rebels, they got one over on the Empire.
Yeah.
But then the next movie came out.
Yeah.
And the Empire struck back. I was like, oh. I was shocked.
How wild is that?
Yeah, the plucky band of rebels in this case being two of the biggest, the three biggest economies in the world. Right. Do you remember an early episode where I said something happened in Russia/Ukraine that I couldn't make sense of?
I do remember this, yes.
Right. So what happened was a private military group called the Wagner Group was led by a Putin ally named Yevgeny Prigozhin, a former Putin ally.
Yes.
It turned on the Russian military and took the city of Rostov-on-Don.
Yes.
And were marching towards Moscow.
I remember this very well, yes.
The reason Prigozhin gave for this was that the invasion of Ukraine was built on lies.
Yes.
The next day, his forces gave up and he relocated to Belarus. So I was just kind of waiting for more information as to why that happened.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why did you just immediately give up? And I still don't understand that, right?
Yeah.
But this week, his plane crashed and he died.
Yes.
And he's presumed dead. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, look, Indiana Jones survived the plane crash by jumping off on a raft. So, who's to say this guy has, we don't know if he had a raft on the plane to go down.
Surely he must have.
Yeah. Well, it feels like we're making light of this guy's death.
Yeah.
And I blame you for comparing him to Indiana Jones, but I've been very respectful. So I just hope
his presumed death.
His presumed death, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
next piece or next news story.
Right. Okay.
So I'm reading this excerpt from Adam Crafton's piece at theathletic.com.
Yeah.
Quote,
Okay.
Manchester United have abandoned their plan to bring back Mason Greenwood to the club's first team following a public backlash. The club faced mounting criticism from inside and outside after The Athletic reported last week, Wednesday, that United Chief Executive Richard Arnold held a meeting with the club's executive leadership in the first week of August to inform them the plan was for Greenwood to return. United insisted last week a decision, quote, had not been made, end quote. But in light of the strong critical reaction to the revelations in the story and further reporting from The Athletic, the club held crisis talks on Friday. They have since decided not to reintegrate Greenwood with the first team at this stage. So that's the end of the excerpt. This is me talking now.
Okay.
If you don't know, a while back, Greenwood's girlfriend posted a video of him attempting to rape her, and she posted pictures of her beaten up face.
Yes.
Later that day, her father did an interview where he said, quote, the first thing we knew about this was at 6 a.m. this morning. It is dreadful. I'm just coming to terms with it all. As a father, you don't want to know things like that happening to your daughter. The police have been round and she has made a statement to them. She has told us her phone had been hacked. We told her to take it down, which she has done, but it's out there now. So now it's too late. She is devastated because she didn't want it to be released. We have known him since the under-21s. He has been part of our family for 2 or 3 years. Their relationship has not been good for the last few months. She is completely devastated by it all. They were very much in love and have been together for a while. The police are dealing with it now. Which I thought at the time was remarkably nice to Greenwood, bordering of being supportive of him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The speculation is that the father is trying to keep them together so he can get money from Greenwood, who's earning big money at United.
Yes.
Flash forward to earlier this year and the case against Greenwood was dropped.
Yeah.
Let's be clear here. The case wasn't dropped because he was found to be innocent. The case was dropped because the victim recanted a statement.
Yeah.
Presumably from pressure from her father to drop the charges.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
In which case, the father is a massive piece of shit.
That is true.
Obviously, we don't know what the dynamics were, but just based on that interview, that was one of the grossest fucking interviews, bro.
Ugh.
You know, it's reported that your daughter's been beaten up and raped, and you make this statement.
It's like, oh, but he's a nice guy.
Let me just go back to it here, right? As a father, you don't want to know things like that are happening to your daughter.
You don't want to know.
Not you don't want it to happen to your daughter. You don't want to know that it's happening to your daughter. She has told us her phone has been hacked. We told her to take it down, which she has done, but it's out there now, so it is too late. People should know that this guy is a scumbag.
Yeah.
Greenwood in this case I'm talking about, right?
Well, both of them, I would say.
Yeah, but I'm saying way he worded that was, it's a problem that people found out.
Yeah.
Right? And I understand like he may be in like shock or something, so he was imprecise with his words.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's just very gross.
Yeah.
Right? United, even considering bringing him back into the team, is a disgrace.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
I'm not saying this because it's Manchester United and I support Liverpool and I'm trying to, get one over on United.
Right.
It doesn't matter what club this guy played for. It's fucking disgusting, bro. I remember that day when like that video went viral of just her screaming and her being so like.
Yeah.
That really fucked me up, dude. Yes.
I said at the time, like I said it publicly, you can go to my Twitter and find it, that if Mason Greenwood came back and started playing for Manchester United again, I would stop supporting the club. Because it's disgusting. And they should never have even considered it.
Yes. So I applaud both the employees at United who threatened to quit their jobs and people in the press who pressured United into doing the right thing. In my opinion, being suspended is not enough. Greenwood should be in jail and possibly the father too for aiding and abetting his daughter's assault. Right? Very upsetting story. But I'm glad it's not even the correct thing. Like I said, he should be in jail.
Yeah.
But like, the correct in the context of playing and not playing.
Yeah.
It just, yeah. And again, it's not because it's United, it's just the principle of this is so disgusting, bro.
Yeah. It's actually terrible.
And it's not better or worse, it's just, we saw the evidence of it. It's not like where somebody is accused and we don't have evidence. We saw the video of it happening, bro.
Yeah.
So disgusting.
Oh.
Anyway, Dune Part 2 has been delayed to March 15, 2024. Warner Brothers has said that this is due to the strikes.
Yes.
To me, this is an obvious attempt to get the public to be upset about the strikes and puts public pressure on the actors and writers to take a bad deal to end the strike as soon as possible.
Yeah.
It's had the opposite effect on me. I'm upset at Warner Brothers as they should pay their workers what they deserve so we can end the strike as soon as possible.
I don't understand this. Like, these big studios are dragging it on for so long. But these people are not going to stop until they get what they deserve. So, why...
Well, again, you know, that guy, he said we can wait them out.
Yeah.
And they can wait them out.
I think there'll come a point where there's just nothing. Because if all the big studios are not able to put out movies, then they'll lose immense amounts of revenue. And
well, they're still putting out movies.
Yeah.
It's just, they have a bunch in the can, you know, for like a few months.
Exactly, yeah. So that, you know, I said there'll come a point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like in...
No, but I mean, they can get scab workers in.
I guess, yeah.
So they can get like writers from all around the world to come replace, you know, their current workers.
Yeah.
They have like lots of ways around it, but we'll just have to see how it plays out.
I guess so, yeah. But I feel like...
And not just hiring them, like they can buy films from around the world.
Yeah.
And just release it through their label, their release label.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, and I'm not saying that's good, I'm just saying they have options, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
They have the most power in the situation.
Yeah, okay.
And it's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Anyway, context for the movie. Yeah, I think I need to include a good news story at the end every week. Because it's like...
Feel good news.
We end on like these two heavy stories.
Yeah.
Well, not really the Dune. It's just like, alright. It's disappointing. It's not upsetting like that Greenwood one was. But yeah, every week I think some kind of feel-good story to end the news section because it's like we're entering the context of the movie with the
bad taste in our mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, in our Shazam Fury of the Gods episode, we went through the history of the DCEU.
Yeah.
And you can go back to our episode on that to figure out how that universe collapsed on itself, right?
Yes.
There was one other DCEU movie since then that we didn't cover, which was The Flash. Okay. We boycotted it due to the star of the movie being a criminal.
Yeah.
Even though it's been on streaming for a couple of weeks, I still haven't seen it. But I've heard about it. The speculation before The Flash came out was that it would reboot the universe by Barry going back in time and fucking up the timeline.
And changing everything to the new. Okay.
As far as I'm aware, this did happen in the Flash movie, except the timeline doesn't get fucked up.
Oh.
He restores it to more or less how it was.
So what was the point of that?
Like, there's very small changes.
Okay.
Which, well, we only saw a small thing at the end of the movie. We don't know.
Okay.
Right, but what I'm saying is it didn't provide a way that easily explains why a new universe is being born.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, okay.
So we covered this earlier in the year, but because the DCEU was such a shit show, Warner Brothers brought in James Gunn to construct a new universe.
Yes.
Which I and other people have started calling the Gunniverse.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And Blue Beetle is the first movie to take place in that universe.
Yes.
Although Superman Legacy will introduce the universe proper.
Yeah.
So I also think that there's a parallel to be drawn here with the MCU.
Yeah.
This version of Blue Beetle and Iron Man are similar. They both wear super suits and are the first movies to take place in that universe. And I'd argue that The Avengers was the movie that introduced the universe proper.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
So, very similar trajectory of the Gunniverse and the MCU.
Yeah.
Right? So they did a pretty good job of covering the backstory of Blue Beetle in the movie. So I'll be only talk about my experience with Blue Beetle, right?
Okay.
Dan Garrett found the scarab and he was the original Blue Beetle.
Yes.
I haven't read any comics about him, but I did see him on the animated TV show Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Okay. Yeah.
Then his protege Ted Kord took over the mantle, but he didn't have the scarab. All of this is explained in the movie. I'm just catching you up, right?
Okay.
This version of the character invents Beetle-themed technology to aid in the fight against crime, and is extremely similar to Batman.
Yeah.
I've found no evidence that this was deliberate, but Blue Beetle was owned by several other comic book publishers before DC.
Okay.
So I think it's a fair assumption to say they were probably ripping off Batman.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Even within DC, Green Arrow is a ripoff of Batman. There's so many Batman ripoffs, right?
Yeah.
So when DC bought him, he joined the Justice League and became best friends with Booster Gold.
Ah, yes.
You know who Booster Gold is?
I don't know exactly, but I was reading an interview about after I watched Blue Beetle, I was watching an interview and they said they do want to incorporate
The friendship.
Yeah, the friendship between Kord and Gold.
So, do you know who Mr. Magoo is? Alright. Do you know who Inspector Gadget is?
Yes.
Alright, that's a better reference, right?
Right.
So,
yes.
Inspector Gadget is a bumbling idiot who he has all these robotic things.
Gadgets,
Gadgets.
if you will.
And he has a little friend named Penny.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I think it's his niece. Whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's like the brains of the operation.
Yeah.
Right? He's only alive because Penny keeps him alive. Similarly, Booster Gold, he has a little robot that follows him around. And he's a bumbling idiot. And the little robot is always saving his head. Right? And he takes the credit for being a big hero. So he was like a janitor in the, I don't know, year 3000 or something like that.
Okay.
And he goes through a portal into the present day. And the reason he knows how things are going to go is because the robot tells him. So, he uses he becomes a hero for fame and glory instead of doing the right thing.
All right.
And yes, but being friends with Ted Kord made him more
unbumbly.
Yeah, no, but more morally correct.
Okay.
You know,
so more doing it for
the right
being
reasons.
Good. Yeah.
Right. When DC bought him, when Alan Moore was writing Watchmen, he wanted to use Blue Beetle, but kill him off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he wanted to use a bunch of characters and kill them off for Watchmen.
Yeah.
But DC didn't allow this. Right? So Moore made a very similar character named Night Owl.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Similarly to the original, I haven't read any comics about him, but I did see him on The Brave and the Bold as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've seen him in lots of other cartoons. He teams up with Batman a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yes. I think the popular consensus is that Night Owl was based on Batman.
Everyone's apparently based on Batman.
No, but this guy is specifically based on Blue Beetle.
Okay.
He just looks similar to... I'm talking about Night Owl.
You're right. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because Moore said it. Right. And he has in this movie, he has a spaceship that's in the shape of a beetle.
Yeah.
And Night Owl has a similar ship called Archimedes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Who he calls Archie.
Yeah.
Right, so, very clear. Well, I guess Batman is a plane too.
Yeah.
But it doesn't carry people, it's just him.
Yeah.
And maybe one person in the cockpit.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the other seat called. Is it cockpit?
Yeah. Well, the cockpit is the whole housing for the... where the pilots sit?
Yeah, okay, but for two people,
yes,
one person in the back. That's still a cockpit.
Yeah. It's still
All right,
classed
whatever.
as a cockpit. Yeah.
We're getting distracted over just, words.
Random things. Yeah.
The third version of Blue Beetle is named Jaime Reyes.
Yes.
Again, I haven't read any comics with him, but I did see him again on The Brave and the Bold, but also on Young Justice, another DC animated show, right?
Okay.
I'm going to spoil something, but I don't feel bad about it because I extremely doubt that they would use this as a plot point in the movie.
Okay.
But on Young Justice, they revealed that the Scarab was sent by an alien race called the Reach. The Scarab comes to Earth to learn our ways and then relay that information back so they can use it to invade our planet.
Okay.
So this is way too big of a storyline for them to do anytime soon. Potentially in like 15 years, they may make this movie, right? And
they did kind of hint at it.
They just said the Scarab was from space, not that. Yeah. They don't know what it's about or anything.
Yeah.
Right? So it'll be very long, I think, until we
get to that stage.
Yes. And by that time, you would have forgotten this episode. So I don't feel bad about spoiling it right now.
Okay.
Right. Cool. I also know OMAC from The Brave and the Bold. Okay. It's controlled by a satellite called Brother Eye, who shoots a laser that transforms someone into an OMAC.
Right.
In this movie, you have to manually put on a suit.
Yeah.
So OMAC isn't necessarily a Blue Beetle villain. Yeah. It's just more a general weapon, and the story is about whatever villain gets control of Brother Eye.
Yeah.
So it could be Lex Luthor, Maxwell Lord, etc.
Right.
Any billionaire businessman.
Yeah.
Right. In this movie, it is Victoria Cord, who's a character created for this movie.
Yeah.
Lastly, I had no idea who the director of this movie was.
Yeah.
His name is Angel Manuel Soto. I checked his Wikipedia and I had never seen anything he made before.
Yeah.
But I am on the lookout for his next project because, spoiler alert, I quite enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, same.
Alright, so that's the context. Do you have any context to add? Oh, did you have any news?
Not anything big. Like there was the Trump mugshot.
Alright, but we spoke about that last week with Rico.
Yeah.
Anyway, your thoughts on the movie?
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I feel like there were, I don't know if I want to call them cliches, but there were quite a few kind of things that I was like, hey, that's a thing I've seen in a lot of movies before. And I'm not sure if I enjoyed that aspect. But
like what?
Like Arctic expedition to find a thing from space.
Alright.
There's
Transformers, Man of Steel.
Yeah.
What else? What do you think of? Those are the two that came to my mind.
Yeah, I was thinking of Transformers.
Alright. So yeah. It's a cliche after one movie.
I'm sure there's others out there. I just haven't.
Alright, fine.
I should probably have researched that better, to be honest. But yeah. Are we going scene by scene or?
I just have general thoughts.
Yeah, same. Okay, yeah. I love that. There's a lot of little funny moments that are perfect. You know how towards the beginning of the movie he's saying I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna get us out of here, and then we see in the next shot he's standing looking over, looking at the sea in this beautiful mansion type thing.
And you think, oh my god, it's happened. He's a cleaner. Yes.
Oh, that was. I absolutely loved those, just the little things that they did so well.
Alright.
Yeah.
So in the context section, I mentioned that there's a parallel to be drawn with Iron Man.
Yeah.
But this movie also reminded me of Venom. When the Scarab is taking over his body.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Well, I guess Spider-Man did it first. But the name that popped in my head when in the cinema was Venom.
Okay, yeah.
And I've seen the lead of this movie, Zolo Mariduena, say that this movie is like David Cronenberg for kids.
Okay.
Obviously referencing The Fly, where a man turns into a fly.
Whoa!
And by extension, Kafka's Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that feeling at all.
Yeah.
Right? I personally think Venom is the best comparison or reference point.
Yeah.
Especially since it's a comic book story.
Yeah.
Well, again, maybe Spider-Man would be better.
Yeah.
But I just feel Venom works more.
Yeah.
Or I also really like that this wasn't a solo movie.
Yeah.
This felt like an ensemble, with each character getting a decent portion of screen time.
Yeah.
Although, the exception to this is the mother.
Yeah.
I feel like she was somewhat shafted.
That is true.
I can't remember the mother having a specific character trait at all. Anyway, the family reminded me a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I understand that the Guardians didn't invent the idea of a team-up. but it's more like the character dynamics and interplay between the characters.
Yeah.
Right? They feel like a family, like the Guardians do. Except this is a biological family.
Yeah.
Right. My favorite character is George Lopez.
Yeah, same.
As the weird uncle.
Yeah.
He made me laugh out loud at several points, but especially when he shouted, "Batman's a fascist!" Right. Yeah. You?
There was, like, especially on that point of George Lopez, he just, like, I don't know, well, I'm assuming it was both that his character was well written and he had amazing line delivery. Because I can't find anything to fault.
It's not a fault, but his hair is very weird. I couldn't stop staring at his weird fucking hair, bro. Yeah.
He just, like... Okay, yes, he had weird hair. But other than that, he was just, like... For me, it was a perfect performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really wonderful in this.
Yeah.
So, the movie leads quite heavily into liberal identity politics.
Yeah.
In this case, Latino identity.
Yeah.
Like I've mentioned before, I don't really mind it in movies.
Okay.
Although some leftists will argue that identity politics in movies are bad.
Yeah.
Because it causes people to think in terms of that identity instead of terms of class.
Yeah.
And this divides us, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what race you are. If you're a working class, you have far more in common with a working class person of another race than you do with a bourgeois person of the same race.
That is true. Yeah.
If you're thinking in terms of race, it's more difficult to build a coalition, as this person would be more likely to side with a capitalist who happens to be the same race as them.
Yeah.
And this is especially insidious as this is a kid's movie. You know, you putting that idea into their head that, you know...
it's fine to...
Well, no, like you should stick with your race. You know, that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So it gets people to think this way from when they're young.
Yeah.
Now, I don't agree with this argument. I just think, number one, the filmmaker is allowed to put whatever they want in a movie.
Okay.
Even if I disagree with the politics of it, they're fully allowed to do what they want.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Number two, sometimes representation makes people feel, quote-unquote, seen.
Yeah.
If this movie makes someone feel more confident about themselves, then I think it's a good in the short term.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time to learn about class politics as you grow older.
That is true, yeah.
Right. But let's be clear, I do not tolerate identity politics within the realm of politics.
Yeah.
I will never support someone on the basis of identity.
Okay.
Only ever the ideas that they're fighting for.
Yeah.
Right.
That's reasonable, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
What other movies have we done that like that?
That's like that.
Liberal identity politics.
All I can think of is Barbie right now. But if I go through, I can probably find something else.
Avatar for blue people.
I get it.
Blue people rights. Yeah. Other thoughts?
Okay, well, it kind of ties back into the, like, I guess, all the characters and that kind of stuff. But, like, I really loved that Nana was, like, originally she's just this sweet old lady. She sews. She's just, she's so sweet. And then from, like, the middle onwards, or, like, I guess after... the father dies.
It turns out she's a freedom fighter.
Yeah. She becomes a badass. It's amazing.
Did they mention which country she's from?
I don't think so.
I don't know, for whatever reason, I was thinking that she's from Cuba. And she overthrew the Batista government. I don't know why I thought that, but yes, that's the...
There was a mention of...
They just said that they immigrated. They didn't say... I don't think they mentioned the country.
There's a lot of mentions of Mexico.
Yes, it's probably Mexico.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know. It's like... It's never explicitly said. It's just kind of out there. But it's... Yeah. Our Spanish-speaking listeners, please let us know.
I was going to... sorry. Carry on.
What kind of dialect of Spanish that may be and where it could be from.
I was going to say it's fun, not fun. It's good that they swap between Spanish and English, right?
Yeah.
So you see in like certain movies, there'll be like two Chinese people and they'll be speaking English, or
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense why they wouldn't speak in their native language.
Yeah.
As opposed to, English.
Yeah.
But obviously it's made for the movie-going audience to understand them. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't like to watch with subtitles.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. It's like, yeah, you illiterate motherfucker. But yeah, I like that they just spoke how they would usually speak.
Yeah.
So the villain.
Yes.
I didn't like Susan Sarandon. Not the performance, how she was written.
Okay.
She's kind of like a comically bad villain for no reason.
I guess the whole thing is that she was like snubbed for taking over Cord.
Yes.
And then that like festered within her until eventually Ted went missing. And then she takes over.
Alright, but why is she a murderer?
I don't know.
That's why I understand taking over the company.
Yeah.
I get that totally.
Right.
And you were previously shafted, but now you're in charge.
Yes.
But why is she doing all this violence? It's like that part of it is not explained.
Yeah.
It's just like, at the end of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Like the character has a point, but they just go mad.
Yeah.
Right? Like Black Panther.
Yeah.
Killmonger made a bunch of good points. Then at the end of the movie is like, you gotta arm people to go murder people around the world. It's like they just give them a random violent streak, to make them
extra
evil,
unlikable.
Yeah. So I don't like the characterization of her.
Yeah.
Performance, I'm not going to say she was great, but she was fine.
I think she was very good at being unlikable.
Sure.
Like a lot of her line delivery as well. Some of that was mad, and then she'd do this like, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a hushed, low voice when you deliver like a particularly threatening line.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's, yeah.
What I did really like is the secondary villain, Henchman.
Oh, yeah.
Who is the titular Olmec.
Yes.
Well, is he? I don't know. I thought he was supposed to be like a... Oh, well, never mind. Like an opposite version of him.
Yeah, he kind of is, yeah.
But it's still an Olmec. I was going to say it's a red beetle. But
yeah,
you know what I was saying about the Reach?
Yes.
So they send scarabs to every world.
Okay.
So there was like a red beetle.
Oh.
Like the Martian one is the green beetle.
Oh,
whatever,
cool.
right?
Okay.
So I was going to say, I thought there was like a, I don't know, reference to that. When he steals the scarab's power.
Yeah.
Right, he could have become like a red beetle. But it doesn't really matter. It's still just an Olmec.
Yeah.
But never mind that. His backstory. Right? They mention it very early on that he's from the School of the Americas. Do you know what that is?
No.
So, I listened to a podcast called Behind the Bastards.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
It, like, details the history of history's greatest monsters.
Yeah.
Right? And this school is a CIA-funded place where they train paramilitaries.
Paramilitaries.
Where they overthrow democratically elected governments in and around South America, right?
Right, okay, yeah.
highly suggest you go listen to the 2 episodes
Okay.
he did on the subject, but that's basically all you need to know for this movie.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
We see, like, in a flashback that he was stolen as a child and, sent for training.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so sad.
Yes. But, I was very shocked that they mentioned the School of the Americas.
Yeah.
Like, that's hectic to put in a kid's movie.
Yeah.
But yes, at the end of the movie, I'm glad that the Beetle also showed some character growth and showed Jaime the inside his mind.
Yeah.
That, like, he's a victim in all this.
Yeah.
He was taken as a child, turned into a weapon, and then,
Yeah.
he's just been moving from place to place as a weapon instead of being able to grow up.
Yeah.
So I thought there was a wonderful bit of backstory and realizing,
Sometimes.
well, like, this does have good class politics, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, that guy is also a worker.
Yeah. That is true.
And Susan Sarandon is bourgeois and she's the enemy.
Yeah.
But then again, Jennifer is also bourgeois and she's
she's a good. Yeah.
But I really like that ending where he realized that the henchman was just a victim as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he should have some way to be redeemed, whereas Susan Sarandon shouldn't be redeemed.
Yes.
Yes, we haven't talked about Jennifer at all.
No.
Right. I didn't think she did enough.
Yeah, she didn't do much.
Yeah.
She stole the scarab originally. And then...
Well, sorry, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
It's more like she doesn't have a personality.
A personality?
Both the mother and her, I couldn't, like, tell you what their personalities are.
Yeah, I guess her whole thing is, like, helping people. And that's...
In what sense?
Like, she's...
Was this showed on screen? Did they tell us about this?
Yeah, originally, like, when the Mimi, the sister, is using the fancy bathroom to take a dump, and Jaime overhears them talking, and
she offers him a job. Is that what you said?
Well, just before that.
Yeah.
It's like there's a whole thing where Victoria, or the aunt, she says, like, you've been a drain on this company because you've gone out and done all these philanthropic things.
I guess.
But that's like, that's really about it.
It was told, not shown.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yes, I wish she had more of a personality, because I could tell you that George Lopez is a crazy inventor guy.
Yeah.
The sister is like I don't know what's the word, like a smothering type.
Yeah.
And she, like, makes fun of him a lot.
Yeah.
The grandmother's like a warm person, but with, like, a crazy underneath.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the father is, like, kind of generically fatherish.
He's like quiet but wise.
Yeah. Both the mother and Jenny, I thought.
Yeah.
Again, the mother didn't get anything to do, and we don't know about it. Jenny had things to do, but we didn't
really get to...
We did get to know her. It's just she doesn't have a personality.
Yeah, okay.
Well, she has good fashion.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a thing.
The fits were incredible in the movie.
I don't know. Not all of them, but some of them.
What?
I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I just remember thinking, this doesn't work.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Fair enough.
But, fashion is not a personality.
That is true.
I guess I just said that I couldn't name something about it, and I just named the fashion, so that's a thing.
That is a thing, yes. Yeah.
Anyway, any other thoughts?
There was... what was I going to say? I just lost it.
Alright, listen. I thought he was remarkably stupid in battle.
Okay, yes.
Like, he's constantly turning away from his enemy.
Yeah.
Like, you could kind of explain this away by saying it's his first day on the job.
Yeah.
You know, he's a very new
Beetle.
superhero. Yeah. But, like, just in general life, if you're in a fight, you wouldn't turn away from the person you're fighting. That's just, you know, common sense. That has nothing to do with your first day.
Yeah.
Right? There's so many, like, why didn't he can fly, right? Why didn't he get his family out of there, you know, when he was burning?
Yeah.
Right? He should have taken them, flown away, flown back, and then fought the people there.
Yes.
His father died because like he
didn't fly them away, pretty much, yeah.
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 And again, that's more it's your first day, you fucked up.
Yeah.
More so than turning away from the villain, right?
Yeah.
But yes, he just does some stupid things.
Yeah.
But again, first day.
Yeah. It is what it is, you know. You have to learn somehow. And unfortunately for superheroes, their learning is very much on the job.
And very much having your parent die.
Yeah.
Or some, you know, family figure.
Some parental figure of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superman lost 4 parents. That's why he's the best superhero.
He just kept losing parents, and it was like...
Well, he lost the whole planet, if you think about it.
Yeah, that is true. He lost 4 parents and a planet.
Yeah. That's why he's the most powerful, because he's lost the most people. Yeah.
I love the idea that you get more powerful as you keep losing people.
I was gonna say, talking about the good politics in this movie.
Yes.
He's facing student debt.
Yes.
Which is a big talking point in the world, because it just doesn't make any sense, right?
Yes.
If I'm a country, I want to... Obviously, healthcare is the number one, right?
Yes.
I want to keep my people healthy. But education is also a very
pretty
important one, right?
Yeah, pretty big deal.
I want my country to be healthy and educated so that we can
be productive, do things.
It doesn't make sense to charge students to learn, right?
Especially charging them exorbitant amounts.
Yes. Like if it was a 0 interest loan, or 1% or something like that,
then fair enough,
right? Like you're making a small amount of money, but the way it, like, you know, compound interest,
it's unreasonable. Crazy.
Yes, it's unreasonable. So
yes,
and the thing is, sometimes movies and TV shows will throw in like that as like they want points for kind of acknowledging it.
Yeah,
someone will be like, oh, I have student debt. And that's never brought up again. Right? This, the student debt drives his poverty.
Yeah.
You know, and why he seeks to get a job at cord industries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I was just a bit surprised that he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be like a scientist or something, you know, but I guess that's Ted Cord.
Yeah.
And he has his, you know, George Lopez to do the
science
stuff. But yeah, I always just associated Blue Beetle with being a scientist.
Yeah, I feel like with the parallels to Iron Man that we've been thinking of, it is very...
Well, the thing is, I guess he doesn't build the suit.
No.
You know, he's not required to be smart.
Yeah, that is true. And in some
cases...
You
heard that, listeners. I said lawyers aren't smart.
Oh, no.
Yes. I said it and I'm like, what if the listeners don't get it?
Listener, wait.
Yeah.
Listener.
What if our listeners are lawyers?
Listener, wait. If you're a lawyer, please just wait. Wait a minute. It's okay. He didn't mean it. Please stay.
I meant it times 2.
Oh, no. Okay, well.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Something about something, probably. It didn't make sense that he was a lawyer. And the student debt is very heavy. But in other news, why do I keep? All right, yeah. So the Scarab, like I really enjoyed that it was like kind of a primitive AI, right? So it like originally it basically just wants to kill everyone, and like Jaime says certain things, and she's like, well, it's like, not so sure about that. I'm just gonna do one of the things that he said without listening to the other bits of the sentence to put it in context. And then over time, it learns what he wants when he says certain things, and it realizes how it can react to those things.
Yeah.
And then, there was something else. Oh, right, yeah. And then, like, originally, it just wants to kill shit. Like, it's big on using lethal force to kill everything possible. But...
Well, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I loved at the end of the movie where the Beetle is the one who showed Jaime, you should forgive this guy. It's wonderful characterization to show it going from murderous to, hey, we should give this guy a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it really helped with his thing, which we've been over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
There was also some clunky CGI that, like, it wasn't terrible to the point that I was like, oh no, that's ruined the whole movie for me. But it was a bit like, a little bit iffy, if that makes sense. Like, one of the very first scenes with the plane landing, that it looked CGI to me.
Alright.
And I didn't enjoy it, but it's not something that I, like, took off crazy points for.
Now that you're saying that, it reminded me, I really like the color palette of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
The blue and the purple, like neon. Well, I don't know what that's called, that type of thing. But yes.
Neon, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it before, so it's not like new and inventive, but it's just fun to see.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But yes, I liked it.
It's very easy on the eye.
It's very like 80s kind of feel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that also kind of, I don't know if it makes sense to say that, how they like live in the edge, and the edge is very kind of run down. So they've got a bunch of, well, it's not run down, but it's not as, what's the word? As like built up or as modern as the people in the city who have all their, fun big houses and whatever. So I think that it kind of plays into that idea that the edge is a little bit further behind.
But in poverty.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So they didn't have the chance to develop that.
Develop what?
The whole modern approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we move on to recommendation?
What did you rate the movie?
8.
Okay.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, same.
I was kind of shocked how much I liked it. It's fun. I had a lot of like I said, George Lopez gave me a few laugh out loud moments.
Yeah.
I do have criticisms, but it's all very light and like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like not completely blown away, but it's also better than good. So it's like it's right up there, 8, 9 for me. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Pretty good.
Recommendations.
Okay. So I rewatched Stoker as part of the Park Chan-wook miniseries.
Okay.
It's a remake of Alfred Hitchcock's Shadow of a Doubt.
Okay.
And it's his first English language film.
Okay.
I originally gave it an 8, and I still think it's an 8.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievably stylish movie. But the story is kind of weird and hectic.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I really like Shadow of a Doubt more.
Okay.
Shadow of a Doubt is both stylish and the story is pretty good.
Yeah.
Hitchcock said it's his favorite movie.
Huh.
Right? His favorite of his that he made. Not that... he probably liked other people's movies.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, we don't know.
Yeah. But, not Park's best. He still has, even if he's not at his best, he still has those just very good filmmaking instincts where, I said, it's very stylish.
Yeah.
It's just the story kind of lets it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I watched Demonic, which is the last Neil Blomkamp movie I hadn't watched. Remember I said I went through all his movies.
Yeah.
Demonic, I really didn't like it that much.
Okay.
It's like this woman is possessed.
By a demon, perhaps?
I don't know.
Oh.
But they have this machine where they hook up a daughter
Okay.
who can go into her mind.
Oh.
And they like... I don't want to spoil it, right? But you think that would be like a a very interesting thing. But I didn't find it like that interesting.
Okay.
And it had some good like CGI or effects.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, I really wish Neil Blomkamp would go back to
doing other stuff.
Chappie, Elysium, that kind of thing. You know?
Right.
Building that sci-fi world out.
Yeah.
I find those things very compelling, but Gran Turismo, demonic, fucking hell, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next thing is the Ahsoka TV show premiered this week.
Right, yeah.
You have no idea what that is.
I have heard of it.
Ahsoka is Anakin's apprentice.
Yes.
In Star Wars.
I do know that.
Yeah. She never appeared in the movies.
Yes.
She was created in the Clone Wars TV show.
Yes.
By Dave Filoni.
I think we spoke about this on one of the pods a while ago.
The trailer came out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know who Dave Filoni is?
Yes.
He's George Lucas's hand-picked successor.
Yes.
To make the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So he's the one who wrote and directed Ahsoka.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. She's like his main character that he is made.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's interesting.
Okay.
But it's very dull.
Okay.
Like the colors, like it's very grey.
Yeah.
And also, she is very like stoic.
Yeah.
She's not like likable and like
fun.
Yeah.
She's just kind of serious.
It's this, like in Clone Wars, when she's first introduced, she's a teenager.
Yeah.
And she's very, like, annoying. Right?
Annoying and upbeat.
Yes. And the thing is, over time, as she grew older, the audience started to like Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And now, when you see her in live action, she's, in a different way, being, like, not likable,
Not likable.
Yeah.
Unlikable. Yeah. Possibly, yes. You could say unlikable.
But it's only been 2 episodes, right? So I think there's good potential here. Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun, and, I'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, still early doors.
Yeah, they released the first 2 episodes. I think there's going to be 10.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to go check.
So there's still a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I watched in the next Tim Burton movie, it's called Big Eyes.
Okay.
It's about this lady who paints pictures, but every person in her pictures has big eyes.
Wow.
Right? And she marries this guy who starts selling the paintings as his own.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
And it's about their
relationship. Interesting.
And him gaslighting her.
Oh, yeah.
It's I said Tim Burton fell off. But it's really his franchise movies.
Okay, yeah.
Planet of the Apes, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Dark Shadows, Alice in Wonderland. Right. Those are all the ones I don't like.
Yeah.
But his original movies, like Big Fish, Big Eyes. And before 2000, when Mars Attacks, Ed Wood, not Beetlejuice. I don't like Beetlejuice.
Oh, no.
That guy's a sex criminal. I've mentioned it before.
Yeah, that is true.
Not Michael Keaton, the character of Beetlejuice. Yes. All right. What's the other one? Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
All his original creations, I love a lot.
Right.
So, I really wish he would go back to doing that.
Do more original stuff.
Right. Anyway, the next movie I watched was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Right, yeah.
Which is Tim Burton doing an original movie, and I didn't like it.
Oh! Look how the turntables.
Well, I don't know what it is. And I don't know if Miss Peregrine is based on something. Like a TV show or something.
I feel like it's based on a book.
Yeah, it's probably a book.
Yeah.
But, just... Do you know what a try hard is?
Yes.
It is trying too hard. Yeah. I think they were like trying to be weird.
Okay.
Do you know that meme of like, this is my friend Barbara. She's so crazy. And it's a picture of a lady with like frozen peas on her head. That's what that movie felt like. Like,
I told Greg to lie on the floor and he did it.
yeah, the mad lad. It's just something unremarkable that they're like, oh my god. Yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, yourself? Busy gaming.
Somewhat, yes, actually.
Of course, always gaming.
I've picked up a new show to watch.
Which is?
Out of the 7 that I haven't finished yet. It's called Captain Fall. It's very, like, Archer kind of vibes.
Alright.
So it's like animated adult comedy, that kind of stuff.
And by adult, you mean porno?
No.
You mean mature?
Yeah. Well,
as in
I guess.
An old lady doing porn.
No.
Yes. All right.
But yeah, it's so far, it's a lot of, well, I say it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of like dumb humor. So it's like, basically, the main premise of the thing is that there's this guy with the surname Fall. So he's Captain Fall, right?
I see.
Yeah. And he comes from a long line of Falls, and all of them have been like really successful boat captains. Mm. But he's a bumbling idiot. so like he's finished. Yeah, I think I'm allowed to say it. It's not really a spoiler. He's finished like bottom of his class in all the things, like the lowest marks in history.
Wow. Well, I blame the teacher.
Yeah, probably. But anyway.
They should, like, get a special tutor in.
Yeah.
Because the lowest marks in history is fine. I blame the system. I don't blame, a kid for being dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What are the parents doing?
They're just...
His father's a successful riverboat captain. Why isn't he taking an interest in the boy's life,
Because he's got an older brother. That's a very successful captain. So, like, I probably shouldn't say this because he's the main character of the show, but I don't remember his name. But they also don't remember his name.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
That's fucked.
Yeah. It's very
So they
sad.
only take care of the older brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wish that was my family.
Oh.
They hate me. They hate me. They want me to die.
Sad.
My brother gets everything. I don't get fucking anything, bro.
Shame.
Anyway. Thank you for listening. Well, sorry. Do you have more?
No, that's really about it.
I assumed. I'm shocked that you even had one.
Wow.
Because you're too busy gaming.
I will come back with more next week.
You're the character from Gran Turismo. Anyway, thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc.
Give us 2 or 3 likes if you've got multiple accounts, please.
Importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review.
It has to be.
And don't try to misconstrue us. No. And create 5 accounts and give us 5 1-star reviews, right?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I've gotten ahead of these crooks. I know. I can see them before they do it, right? I'm saying 5 stars from 1 review.
Yes.
So if you do 5 reviews, 25 stars in total. All right?
Yes.
Just so we're all clear.
Yeah.
Please subscribe on Patreon to listen to our movie commentaries.
Yeah.
This week we're trying something different.
Yeah.
It's not a movie commentary. It's... why are you laughing?
So if you're subscribing to Patreon to listen to our movie commentaries, don't subscribe this week because...
Well, the previous ones are still there.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
You make it seem like we have a back catalogue. Right?
That is true. Yes, we do.
Right.
We've got a portfolio.
But this week we're doing 2 episodes of the Batman, The Brave and the Bold TV show.
Yes.
It's the first episode is called The Rise of the Blue Beetle.
Yes.
The second is The Fall of the Blue Beetle.
Oh my goodness. How crazy is that?
You can find all our links at PAICIP.com. That's PAICIP.com.
Yep.
Please tell a friend and tell that friend to tell a friend. Tell a family member.
Tell 2 family members.
Hmm.
Or tell everyone.
Yeah. Remarkably short episode this week.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. Do you want to vamp for a little bit? I don't know. Listen, I took James Madison out of my fantasy team. Right?
Yeah.
I took Madison and Botman out for Mbomo and Akanji. Madison scored yesterday. Mbomo did fuck all.
He bombed.
Right? Botman is playing later today against Liverpool. He
Yeah.
could easily get a clean sheet.
He could.
Right?
Yeah.
And Akanji apparently didn't travel with Man City.
Yeah.
So I took a -4.
Yeah.
That was, and Madison got 11, right?
Yeah.
That's a 9-point swing.
Yeah.
At current moment, it could get worse if Botman. So yeah. Anyway, this is still going to be our shortest episode by at least 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Unless we want to talk about more fantasy.
nah, I definitely don't.
Damn.
All right. Cheers.